We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers to investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. I'll ask for returns for you guys to smash that like button. Let's see if we can get this video over 30 likes. And here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, continuing to range within this consolidation, finding support above 380s and rejecting as it gets closer to 390. Now we need to talk about what's going on here at these key levels with 42 vision in our inflow versus outflow indicator. But today within the volatility, our SPY bot sent out a bear indicator since 12:35 p.m. and from that moment forward, put options went up 100% plus, and you could see how those outflows crossed to the downside. And then on the flip side of things, on the other side, it got a bull indicator, those inflows picked up, and call options went up 50 to 100% plus within an hour as well. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to the SPY bot, the QQQ bot, the newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities. And this is my opinion and perspective alone, not financial advice. Volatility is here to stay, and to maximize within this volatility, having an edge and clarity of the charts makes all the difference. It does not have to be 42 vision, but if you find value in what we share here and you want to become part of a growing community of investors using these resources, check out the link down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator by receiving that clarity and edge over the charts. So here we are with the SPY, sitting in a full transition from the rip area to the dip area and ranging here in the consolidation that we've been talking about and trying to hold support. Now we have a lot to talk about in today's chart action and what's about to happen tomorrow, as it's a huge day for the markets. But before we do and we break it all down, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And as you see popping up here on the screen, these are some of the home runs I've managed to find this week alone. And while not guaranteed to be this way every single time, we strive for opportunities like these every single day. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the one stock I mentioned this morning was MEDS. We caught this one early on in the pre-market with low volume. It was under a bull indicator. Those inflows were about to cross, and it jumped up 18% plus in the pre-market, pulled back down towards the bell. Inflows crossed again under that strength of that bull indicator, full strength on 42 vision, and it jumped another 20% plus within minutes, guys. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. So here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, and as I stated earlier, ranging within this channel that we've talked about in our previous videos, and it keeps on finding support at 380 to 382, right? Finding that support and not allowing itself to go lower and actually bouncing off of it every single time. Double bottom here, and then a triple bottom at this level. Now, if it continues to go higher, then the next important part is breaking through resistance, and this could start taking off really, really quickly. Or is it going to lose momentum and fade very, very fast? So we're going to pull up our 42 vision indicator and our inflow versus outflow indicator, the bull and bear indicators, which you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to the SPY bot, the QQQ bot, our newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities, whether stocks are going up or going down. And you can now join the members using these resources to maximize in either direction by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. Slots are now open for those interested. The link is down below once again to the 42 vision indicator and also our inflow versus outflow. So here we are with a bear indicator on the SPY today in the pre-market at around 387. It got a bull indicator, and I stated in yesterday's video that a complete transition from the dip area to the rip area has happened. And yes, these inflows picked up, but they were slowing down, and I was going to watch if it stayed above it or pulled back down and crossed it based off the 30-minute, got that bear indicator, crossed it at the bell, and things went down for most of the day within the volatility, right? But the second half of the day towards the end, it got those inflows back up. So this is a very pivotal and interesting level here based off the 30-minute, but we're gonna go ahead and look at here an article that breaks down some of the things to look into going into tomorrow as we have the FOMC meeting and the rate hike decision that's going to happen. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below. I've asked this in previous videos, so those of you watching, what do you think? Do you think there's going to be a 0.75 rate hike or a full 100 basis point hike, which is 1.00? I look forward to seeing your thoughts. Comment down below which one you think is going to happen. So it states here in this article, 4 things to watch when the Fed delivers its rate hike decision. So the first thing is to be aware that if a 100 basis point move happens, it can spark volatility very, very fast. And in this article, it states here that an issue with an unprecedented 100 basis point move is that it could convey the sense that policy is not under control, that the Fed has lost control. Now, if a 75 basis point move happens, the market will interpret it as if there's a better sense that the Fed has this under control, especially inflation and how they're raising rates. So I've stated in previous videos my stance, my thoughts. I believe a 100 basis point move is a possibility, but the likelihood is lower than a 75 basis point hike because the Fed wants to stay under control. And as Jay Powell has stated, he is working towards a softish landing. But he did state at Jackson Hole that there could be some pain ahead. So it could be part of the pain that we feel or we go through is not just a 100 basis point move all at once in the next meeting or in several meetings, if not continuous 75 basis point moves, which is pretty aggressive to say the least if they're consecutively happening. And it states here a three-peat because we've already had 2. We go for a third one. That's going to be very, very interesting. So 75 basis points is not any more dovish or any better, but it's a lot better than a 100 basis point move. But if there's actually a message, right, from the Fed, especially Jay Powell stating, hey, you know, and there it is, the word pain for the economy when he stated it back at Jackson Hole in this article. But he states, hey, we just did 75 basis points and we're open to another multiple 75 basis points at other meetings if the data shows it's necessary. That can spook the markets because that's not priced in my opinion. So something to watch and something to keep in mind. In 100 basis points, it was getting priced in when we hit the June lows, which was near 360s. That's not priced in either because if you look at this right here, when Fed member Waller came out and spoke, he stated back in July that the stock market was pricing in 100 basis points and getting ahead of itself because the market was expecting 100 basis point or speculating on it that it was going to happen in August or September, and it hasn't happened yet. But we're right now in the brink of it possibly happening. And if the markets was pricing it in and we were in the 360s, we're in the 380s, in my opinion, again, that's not priced in. But let's go ahead and break down what's going on here in the charts and what I'm watching. For the SPY, the first thing is it's been breaking off of 380, 382. Strong support there. If that gets broken through, I'm going to be watching on the 30-minute. If these outflows get crossed back down to the downside, and if it could start affecting the chart even more, and if this bear indicator continues to hold true and does not get canceled by a bull indicator, right? Because if it does get canceled and then all of a sudden inflows continue to pick up and pull away from the midpoint, I'm going to be watching that carefully as we currently sit on the inflows based off the indicator at 0.88, and the highs that we were at today in the pre-market when we were up at 389, it was actually sitting at around at inflows of 4.6 to 4.4, and here we are with room to go higher if it starts to break through resistance and those inflows pick up. Now, when you zoom out to the 1 hour though, you could see that the inflows crossed, guys. It was on its way back up. We talked about this in the last two videos on September 16th. Yesterday on the 19th, it was going up. It crossed it, slowed down as you see right there. But today the outflows crossed and we are below it, guys. If this continues to range below it, it could have an impact on the chart. And if it pulls down further away from it, it could start actually trying to retest newer lows and break through the 380, 382 support that has been there all this time, right? So that's a key support level. If that gets broken through, the next support that I'm watching is 375. And right now on the 1 hour, we're under a bear indicator. And I'm going to be watching how we're under the midpoint here. And if these outflows continue to dominate for as long as we stay below it. Even if the inflows try to come back up towards it, it needs to cross it to have a real impact. Look how it's actually coming up, and it only moved up slightly, came back down, and once it crossed it yesterday, it started moving up from 383 all the way to 389, right? Now we crossed it, and we've moved from 386 down to 381, and right now it's fighting at 384 with the outflows dominating on the 1 hour. So I'm going to be watching that again very closely. On the 30-minute, I'm going to be watching if we hold above it and pull away from it, or if we cross right back down and start pulling away from it to the downside. That's going to be important as well. And if we zoom in here to the 15-minute, you could see that the inflows versus outflows have been very volatile. The outflows crossed today in the pre-market, got that bear indicator, lasted for most of the day on the 15-minute, and just got a bull indicator here towards the end of the day. And the inflows just recently crossed, but they already switched from green to red, and they're really close to the midpoint. I'm going to be watching if it crosses it, because today, once it crossed it, it was way up here at 387 and it fell all the way down to 381. So I'm going to be watching these inflows versus outflows very carefully and the bull and bear indicators as they pop up. And right now on the 30-minute, we have a bear indicator as well as on the 1 hour. I'm going to be watching this carefully. I look forward to seeing your comments down below. What are your thoughts? Do you think that 0.75 is happening or a full 100 basis point hike? I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.